What's up, everybody? This is Krayzie Bone. I want to say what's up to everybody to conquer the industry, Fast Track, and the VIP members right now that's tuned in. Right now we're sitting here with a very special person from the music business.
Brian Shafton. I'm a partner of RBC Records. RBC, we've been in business for 10 years right now. We represent artists such as Krayzie Bone, Lazy Bone, Tech Nine, E40, Too Short, Cannabis, C Murder, and many more. Prior to that, I had spent a small stint at J-Core, which was a small independent label distributed through Interscope Records, where we had the likes of 8-Ball and MJG, Mystic, Sibo, Brother Lynch Hung. Before that, I was at Priority Records for well over a decade, where I was Vice President of Sales and Marketing. We represented artists such as Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Westside Connection, everyone from A to Z. We Master P, Ghetto Boys. At our peak, we did $300 million a year in business.
Yeah, so y'all can see he's been in the game for a very long time, helped a lot of artists, worked with a lot of artists, and he's still here now. So, could you tell them, in your opinion, what has changed in the record business today, like compared to like how it used to be, like maybe 10, 15 years ago? What has changed?
Without a doubt, the record business is changing at light speed. So, what's cool today might not be tomorrow. You have to be ahead of the game. 10 years ago is an eternity ago in this music business. Specifically, there was no internet affiliation. In particular, there wasn't MP3s being sold, iTunes wasn't in existence or anything like that. At this point, iTunes is our #1 account, so we have to pay extra special attention to them. And also, because I've been in the independent world for so long with Priority, J-Core, and now RBC, we definitely embrace the internet as a marketing device to help promote our artists. It gives us a real fair playing field compared to the majors. And it's definitely a super important part of it, and that's without a doubt the biggest change that's happened in the last decade.
Okay, well, today, what would you say that most labels look for in the artists?
The single most important thing is SoundScan history. So someone like you who sold 30 million records is a gem in this business. There's not obviously a lot of those types of people. Mm-hmm. So you look at SoundScan as the single most important telling tale. After that, it's your social media. It's your Facebook stats, your Twitter stats, your MySpace plays, all of your audio files. We want to know how many people are listening to you, how often you're interacting with your fans, and more importantly, how often your fans are interacting with you. And that'll show us some level of demand. Mm-hmm. So, for example, we had signed a group called The Rangers, who had never put out a record before, but what intrigued us was these guys had millions of views on their YouTube channel, unbelievable MySpace, Facebook stats, and whenever they would go into any type of chat room, it would be tremendous dialogue. Right then is where we realized that we had bridged the gap between the artists and the fans, and we knew that we could deliver music to them and be profitable with it.
So you're basically saying that having an online presence is definitely important too.
Crucial.
Definitely. That's what I've been telling y'all. So
listen to them.
I'm telling you. All right. Next, so what are the advantages for an artist? Like, what are the advantages signing to an independent label versus signed into a major label? Or is there any advantages? Or
absolutely. So there's a lot of advantages, in my opinion, to being an independent. The first of which is it allows you to take control of your destiny, where you can set up your own marketing to make it so that it's exactly what you want it to be. It's also putting the record together as you want it. It's not the major labels telling you need this person to be featured and this producer on there. Most importantly, however, it's a financial decision. When you're independent, you're seeing 80% of the money. When you're an artist signed to a label, you're getting a royalty. You're owning 18%. And as you know, and been a part of this game for a long time as well, a lot of times these major labels show that they're never recouped, so there is no back end money.
Oh, yeah.
And on the flip side, you just picked up a check from us today. So it's one of those things that you really can do it. You can own your masters like you do with us right now, like Master P's done throughout his career. So it's a real huge financial advantage to being independent.
What advice would you recommend for new artists who are trying to break into the business?
Well, the music is obviously super important, so you got to have that done right. And obviously that's what this whole website's about, is making sure the music's done right. Exactly. So assuming that you have the music done, your next step is really getting the visibility. Online is the easiest way to do it because you can touch so many people with just a push of a button. Obviously, touring is a crucial component as well. Publicity is a crucial component too. But we really want to see, in this day and time, your online statistics being really high.
Would you take an artist serious who has never had a record deal? If not, why? And if yes, what are the risks involved for you?
So that's a really good question, because someone like you who's got a history of selling records, I know exactly what you're going to sell is going to be comparable to the last record. When you're dealing with a new artist, you have no idea what they're going to end up selling. So you have to make a lot of determinations. And again, I'll bring up the Rangers. We found them, again, like I said, because of their online presence. We had no idea what to expect, whether it was 0 units or 10,000 units. And it ended up doing 10,000 units. But more importantly, because they were such a young group, we had sold so many digital sales. We've done about 150,000 digital tracks with them. So if you have never had a record out in the marketplace, you better be able to show to me and prove to me that there is demand in the marketplace for your music and that people are willing to drop money on it. Like I said, the best way to do it is show me online where I can verify all the statistics.
So Ben, that you've been in the business for a long time and you've been very successful, no doubt. What changes did you have to make to try to sort of get what today's music saying? What changes did you have to make, and what did you have to overcome any obstacles?
Oh, we overcome obstacles daily. I mean, there's challenges from the biggest artists that we represent, like a Tech-9 or a Krayzie Bone, to the smallest artists we represent. The business is constantly evolving, and if you're not a step ahead, then you're a step behind and you're out of business. So it's crucial to understand how the finances work and understand them before you start spending the money. You need to have a game plan in place with a marketing plan and be able to execute that in such a way that you know you're going to see your money back.
So what are your thoughts on the whole 360 deal situation that most major labels offer to artists these days?
I think it's all major labels right now.
Yeah.
I think it's highway robbery. I think it's one of these things where you've spent so much time developing your career, and the major label wants to take a piece of your whole situation. Yeah. And the independents such as ourselves, it's like we want to be paid for what we do. So if I'm in the business of selling CDs and selling to iTunes, I want to get paid for that, but I want to give you the opportunity to make money on all of your other situations, your touring, your acting, whatever else that might be, and me just advise and help you with that one element of your life. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a big fan of the 360 deals. However, I realize that the majors are imploding right now, and that's the only way they can survive. Mm-hmm. So they need to do it.
Yeah, so a lot of artists want to know, what's the most important thing, when you go in and you trying to negotiate a deal with the record company? What should they ask for? What should they expect? What are they entitled to?
Those are all good questions. When you walk into a major label and you think that you're going to get a fair deal, or probably any label for that matter, the odds are stacked against you. So it's all about your negotiations. It's all about what you can do. Obviously, the more that you can deliver to the label gives you as an artist more leverage to demand something on the backside, or even as an upfront fee. So in terms of what to expect, it all depends upon what kind of deal it is and how far along you are in the game. Someone like you, who sold 30 million records, can demand a lot more than someone who's starting out new. So a lot of times when you start out new, you have to be able to almost give away the first record, knowing that that's paying your dues to get to be where you are sitting now.
Exactly. That's very, very true. What do you think that a good manager should do for an artist?
Find them money. Find them opportunities. It's not just about finding money. It's finding an ability to find a lane and a position for you as an artist to help develop you, not for today, but for your future. It's a wonderful thing when someone like you can go in, you can sell a CD, you can sell a ticket, you can sell a t-shirt, and you can sell all these things. When you're positioned like that and you can sell a lifestyle, you have the ability to get a lot more money. So a manager needs to be able to put you in that type of position where they create a lifestyle out of you, as opposed to a flash in the pan. Let me get you on the radio, and as soon as radio's off you, you're over. You want a manager who's going to be able to help you for a career, not for a record.
Okay, yeah. How can an artist get distribution and radio play for their record?
Well, radio play from an independent perspective is near impossible. Not going to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult. The major labels really control radio. Specifically, the reason behind that is they're constantly coming into the radio station on a very regular basis with checks. So the radio stations are already endeared to them. Secondly, if you're a Def Jam and you're trying to break a new artist, you can always leverage your marquee artist a la a Jay-Z to do their summer show. So you could say, I want my new artist ABC to get 20 spins a week, and in exchange for that, I'll give you Jay-Z at my summer show. From an independent perspective, there still is definitely noise to be made. You've got to be getting it through the clubs. Perfect example for us is E40. We put out E40's records last year, Revenue Retrieving Day Shift and Night Shift. We went after radio to no success. We had a track called Bitch that featured Too Short, and 50 Cent got on the remix. It burned it up in the clubs. We promoted it hard at the clubs. It burned it up so much at the clubs that radio couldn't deny us. 9 months after Street Date, the radio was put into heavy rotation at Power 106 as an example. So work it from the streets and grow it. You have to do that if you're going to do it independently. If you're signed to a major, you got to roll with them.
Could you tell people what's the importance of PR?
PR is crucial. You got to get your name out there, and you want it presented in such a way as to help your career. Sometimes, any press can be good press. Not always the case. You definitely want to position yourself. PR is fairly easy to get, especially online. Everyone's going to take it, it propagates itself, and it's instantaneous. A lot of the magazines, your Murder Dog, your XXL, your Source, will still go ahead and feature articles based on, you don't need to be signed to a major, you could be an indie and be on there. So it's important, obviously, to be out there in the press and let people know that your record's coming and why they should purchase not only your record, but your lifestyle.
So what's your outlook on the music industry as a whole today? Like the music that's being played, a lot of people are complaining about the music that's being made today because they say it's watered down. Everybody's talking about the same thing. What's your take on that?
I agree. I think it is being watered down. I think, and again, going back to the majors dictate what they want to hear. The independents allow for a new voice to be heard. And I think, that really is a fuel to the fire. You look at someone like Wiz, who came from the independent label background, and that was where he is now, but he had to have those steps and change the game a little bit. And there will always be new opportunities to discuss what's happening in your life, what's important to you as an artist, and that's what you guys should be communicating about, because it's real and people know what's real. So first of all, I think Conquer the Industry is such an important website, and this should have been done years ago where someone could be getting advice from record executives from A to Z and being told what to do. It's very rare that you're going to find someone who sold 35 million records throughout his career giving someone one-on-one advice. To me, I want to use this as my farm team and find the people that Krayzie is being able to find and upstream them to my label so I can put them out and help make money together with these people. I think this is a huge coup for the industry. I think that to have this one-on-one attention is unparalleled. You got a 2-time Grammy winner. I don't know how many MTV awards you've won, but I got to figure the collection is this tall. If you're going to get advice from someone, let it be from him.